All right, here's a heads up for all of you rush hour commuters out there. All this week, we're breaking down the top 5 worst intersections here on Suncoast.
In a special report, our Marla Spence shows us the hot spots and what you need to know to make your commute easier. She starts the week at University and North Lockwood Ridge Road. Marla, good morning.
Yeah, this intersection is considered to be one of the top hot spots right here on the Suncoast. We all know that University Parkway and North Lockwood Ridge Road is considered to be one of the busiest intersections, but also it's considered to be one of the most dangerous. I had the chance to speak with the executive director of an organization that teams up with the Florida Department of Transportation, the Federal Highway Administration, and the Federal Transit Administration. That organization, known as the Sarasota Manatee Metropolitan Planning Organization, or the MPO, collected data breaking down what makes this intersection the most dangerous here on the Suncoast. According to the most recent data collected by the MPO, more than 1,800 severe crashes has happened at this intersection since 2016. MPO's executive director David Hutchinson tells ABC7 why there's been a high volume of severe crashes specifically at this location.
Well, we do see a lot of volume of cars, and we see inattentive driving, distracted driving as an increasing factor in crashes. We also see crash severity is important. So when you have high speeds, that contributes to crash severity.
Besides high speeding and distracted driver, what are other factors making this intersection one of the top dangerous? We're telling you coming up at 5:30.
You know these days that there are always some hot spots that are always the busiest ones with traffic around the area. So all this week on Good Morning Suncoast, we are looking at the busiest intersections that slow down your morning commute.
That includes University Parkway and Lockwood Ridge. Our Marla Spence joins us from that spot with a special report. Marla?
Yeah, so far we've told you morning commuters that this is considered to be the top 5th dangerous intersections on the Suncoast, and this is all according to the Sarasota Manatee Metropolitan Planning Organization. So far, we know that more than 1,800 severe crashes has happened in this area since 2016. Although most crashes were due to distracted driving and speeding, though there are other contributing factors to make this a hot spot on the Suncoast. Now, it's the matter of fact that commuters in this area can go both into Manatee County and Sarasota County. Also, this intersection has nearly 8 ways of directions that commuters can possibly go, so it's directed that they pay close attention to the roads. The Metropolitan Planning Organization Executive Director David Hutchinson tells us what's being done to crack down on the number of crashes.
We'll be working with the Florida Department of Transportation and traffic experts engineering experts who will look at engineering and are there factors in the roadway design that are contributing to the problems in a particular corridor or at a particular intersection.
Those problems could be anything from the lack of signage out here to the lack of police presence. Coming up at 6 o'clock, we're going to tell you about the peak hours of traffic in this intersection and how you can possibly avoid getting into an accident.
All right, some good information for all of you rush hour commuters out there. All this week, we are breaking down the top 5 worst intersections right here on the Suncoast.
In a special report, our Marla Spence shows us the hot spots and what you need to know to make your morning commute easier. She starts this week at University and Lockwood Ridge Road. Marla, good morning.
Yeah, it's a busy Monday morning at this intersection of University Parkway and North Lockwood Ridge Road in Sarasota, and traffic is picking up at what's considered to be the busiest and most dangerous intersections on the Suncoast. Now, according to the Sarasota Manatee Metropolitan Planning Organization, a group dedicated to working alongside the Florida Department of Transportation, they say the peak hours for morning traffic is from 7:30 to 8:30. Bumper-to-bumper traffic is usually around this time, and MPO's Executive Director David Hutchinson tells us peak hours doesn't always necessarily mean there's a higher risk for crashes.
If traffic is stopped and fully congested, then your actual crash severity is real low because you have fender benders, but you don't have high-speed crashes because there is no high speed.
So you drivers, when the roads are clear, that means there's a lower risk actually for severe crashes. Now coming up at 6:30, we're going to be telling you about some simple practices that drivers know, but believe it or not, they oftentimes don't follow, and they can actually lead to some severe crashes right here on the Suncoast.
All right, all this week on Good Morning Suncoast, we are looking at the busiest intersections that slow you down on your morning commute.
One of the worst spots is at University Parkway and Lockwood Ridge Road. That's where we find our Marla Spence, who joins us now with a special report. Marla?
Thanks, Ray and Stephanie. So far, you morning commuters have learned that more than 1,800 severe crashes has happened in this intersection, and it's all according to recent data collected by the Sarasota-Manatee Metropolitan Planning Organization. Road officials say many of those crashes are due to not using simple roadway practices, and officials believe it's causing many accidents on the Suncoast. Now, those practices, believe it or not, are as simple as being courteous to other drivers, and these practices include using your indicators and signaling several hundred feet before turning or changing lanes. Secondly, allowing people to get over into your lane if they need to, and this will allow those lanes not to get congested by one driver trying to get over. Being courteous in that regard can also avoid fender benders. Also, don't block intersection. And one last thing, think about where you're going before you head out your front door this morning.
Try to plan your trip so that you're not going during the most congested time of the day. So people need to slow down, take your time, think about where you're going.
Well, so far we've told you what you need to know about the 5th dangerous intersection on the Suncoast. Make sure you tune in tomorrow morning with the 4th dangerous intersection on the Suncoast. Believe it or not, it is 8 miles away from this current intersection, and we'll be bringing you all the latest information on your morning commute starting tomorrow morning. Back to you guys.